of Galilee. We can see the Sea of Galilee here and here. This false bay is the City of Galilee. And then when we look at the tip end, we can see it says the Garden of Eden. So it shows that a lot of biblical names are within South Africa. And then we know that Capernaum is Capetown, located in the region of the Sea of Galilee, which is the false bay. Right here we see all this U-like shape is the false bay.
Welcome back to our Bantu History series. In case you are new here, make sure you support us by hitting that subscribe button to receive our future videos.
Why South Africa? It's because South Africa is the land where our ancestors are buried. The Bailey's Happy Valley Cave, which is in Mamre, is where our ancestors are buried. That's why South Africa is important. That is why South Africa is on fire right now. In Genesis 49:29 to 30, the death of Akobi. Then he gave them these instructions: I am about to be gathered to my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave in the field of Ephron the Hittite. 30. The cave in the field of Machpellah near Mamre in Canaan, which Abram bought along with the field as a burial place from Ephron the Hittite. You can see where there's the dot, the red dot, that's where this cave is. The Bailey's Happy Valley Cave, which is the Machpellah, contains the tombs of three patriarch couples, Abram and Zala, Issac and Rebekah, Akobi and Leah. As we've read in the Genesis 23:2 and Genesis 23:19, it points to this place where they lie up to this day. South Africa is the epicenter of the Holy Land, Usonini Nanini's plan and the burial place of our ancestors, the patriarchs Abram, Issac and Akobi. This is how South Africa is so important. We know that most of the story about our ancestors is around that land. And that's why it is important. And also it is a burial place for them. As we can see and read on Genesis 23:2 and then Genesis 23:19. You can see the journey from Benoni to Chaba to Hebron and then to Mamre. Benjamin is born, Rachel dies. Genesis 35:16. And they journeyed from Bethel, and there was but a little way to come to e.t.c, which is Ephron in the Bible. And Rachel travailed and brought forth her children, and it was in hard labor. Genesis 8:35-18. And with her last breath, for she was dying, she named him Benoni, but his father called him Benjamin. Genesis 35:19. And Rachel died and was buried in the way to e.t.c, which is Bethlehem. Genesis 35:20. And Akobi set a pillar upon her grave. That is the pillar of Rachel's grave unto this day. Genesis 35:21. And Akobi journeyed and spread his tent beyond the tower of Edar, which means this land is around the same area, it's within the same area. And when we look at Bethel, which is right down in KwaZulu-Natal, we see the journey that Rachel took from Bethel to e.t.c, where she passed away. And e.t.c is just within the same space with Benoni. And this shows the journey, and she was buried around that area where there's a pillar which says up to this day. If we look for it, we might find that there is a pillar, or it has been taken over by our enemies, as they always take these areas and put their parks, their private land, so that we cannot access them. We know that South Africa is a land that houses most of the activities of our ancestors, and we see here we see the place, the 12 apostles. This is the area where Msindisi spent most of his time there, and we can see there's a range of mountains called the 12 apostles. And then when we look at that, it's right within the proximity of Table Mountain, and Capetown is located in the Galilee region, specifically on the northwest side of the Sea of Galilee. We can see the Sea of Galilee here and here. This false bay is the city of Galilee. And then when we look at the tip end, we can see it says the Garden of Eden. So it shows that a lot of biblical names are within South Africa. And then we know that Capernaum is Capetown, located in the region of the Sea of Galilee, which is the false bay. Right here we see all this U-like shape is the false bay. That is the Sea of Galilee. This is the area Msindisi spent a significant part of his life healing and curing the sick, casting out demons and unclean spirits, calming storms and feeding multitudes, raise the dead and restore Issac. Msindisi chose his disciples Simon, Peter, Andrew, James, and John from this region, which means Msindisi spent most of his life around this place. That's why South Africa is important. And what is happening now is because the land is being cleansed for these people that have been ruling, tarnishing and defiling the land. And their time is up. And they are going to be removed by Sonini Nanini. So what is happening now is Sonini Nanini and our ancestors working to cleanse the land in preparation for their children to come back home. Thank you, family. I hope to speak to you soon again whenever I'm given a message to pass. These are the books that you can find on Amazon. You can read and understand where we are right now and what is happening, and the messages that has been sent to the leaders of Africa. Until next time, thank you for watching.
If you like these videos and would like to support in their continued production, you can do so by joining our membership. Click the join button below, or you can support by buying a super thanks below. That is all we had for you today. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Thanks for watching. We will see you on the next one.